Rosie, I'm going to stuff this cabbage, but it's looking pretty impressive, isn't it?
It really is.
It looks like I've stuffed it already.
Very large, isn't it?
It is, it is. But what I've done is actually I've blanched it. So I've got a big pot of boiling water. Got it boiling very carefully, put the cabbage into the boiling water, make sure there's plenty of salt into it. And after about 5 or 6 minutes, when the outer layers, you know, 4 or 5 layers, are cooked, I took it out very carefully. Now, when you've got the cabbage to this stage, I've let it cool down a little bit. With a good sharp knife, you just go around the top of it here, but we want to actually take out the actual core of it so that we can stuff it with some meat, which is what I like the most. There we go.
Great.
Look at this. It's like having a little baby cabbage. Look, there we go, giving birth to it. Now, how it comes like that. There we go. Look at that. Now, Rosie, we'll just leave this sit here like this, but a little tip that you can do is just sort of turn it upside down, get a little bit of the water out of it, and then pop it back. You want to keep as much of that shape as you can because it's really important for the actual dish. It's got to present really well. The next thing we're going to do, Rosie, is the filling. Now, I've got some lamb meat here. I've got some herbs here, some mint, parsley and spring onion. I want you to chop that spring onion up, chop the parsley up and the mint up. I've got some beautiful serrano ham that I've pulled apart here. The thing that I'm going to do with the serrano ham is chop it nice and fine. And I love it on its own or when you mix it through a dish like this. Sprinkle some of that on top of there like that. And also to flavour it up, I've got some cayenne pepper, a little bit of cayenne pepper there. I've also got some onion and some garlic that I've sweated off very gently in some butter till it becomes nice and sort of soft and translucent like this. And I'll just scrape that off into the bowl here. Now, I've got some breadcrumbs, about half a cup of breadcrumbs to put in there. Now, also to bind it together, I've got some eggs. And I'm going to use some whole free-range eggs. And 3 eggs is probably the perfect amount. And the tip when you're cracking eggs, crack them on a flat surface and you won't get any shells in it. Now, the eggs go straight in there like that. Now, to give it some flavour, when we're cooking meat, we need some salt. Salt loves meat, meat loves salt. Now, a good twist of pepper in there. And I'll grab those herbs and pop them in here. Now, I've got 3 boiled eggs there, Rosie. While I'm mixing this up with my hand, I'm going to get you to chop those boiled eggs up. And by the time we've mixed this all together, we'll grab our cabbage back and then we'll stuff it, wrap it and cook it. Now, at this stage here, you can add as many things as you want. It's really up to you what the stuffing's like. I like it pretty classical like that.
All right, so we need to open this up,
That's it. Open it up, and we're going to load this big chunk of meat into the centre there. Here we go, into the middle, nice and gently like that. And then we'll just slide the bottom of that cabbage out here onto the muslin cloth. And I'll just pull the last little leaves over the top there. The idea is to sort of cover it up so that none of that meat is actually showing. There we go. And then we grab this muslin cloth, bring it together like this, that's it. And look at that. Now, I'll just give that a squeeze. You can see there's a little bit of water coming out of the cabbage. Don't worry too much about that. That'll all come out of it. I'll give that a twist like this. Now, I've got a pressure cooker. Now, I love cooking with a pressure cooker, and in fact, it brings me back to my childhood. My mum would always cook in a pressure cooker. It's a great way of cooking things really, really fast. And I've got this little tray here, which the cabbage will fit into beautifully. And the thing about a pressure cooker, it just simmers away. It's something that would take an hour to cook. You can cook in 15 minutes. So that's what I like. This one's really big. You can cook a lot of things really quickly.
But people think they're hard to use, but they're not. They're so simple.
It's really easy. I'm just going to grab the handle like that, pop it into the bottom. Now, you'll see in the bottom there, Rosie, I've got some cabbage in the bottom. And what I've done is put the outer leaves of the cabbage in the bottom because they're going to boil away with the water as it steams and give us some of that cabbage flavour. That's what we want. Now, pour some of this water over the top. I'm going to use about half a litre of water over the top of it like that. And then the lid goes on nice and safely like that, locks into place. The thing that you need to do is turn it up to get some heat underneath it, turn it down to its lowest setting. The little dial here will tell me when it's steaming, and I'll let it steam for about 25 minutes, nice and slowly, and when it's ready, it'll be cooked, and I'll be able to cut into it, and it will be delicious. Now, Rosie, this has been cooking for about 25 minutes. You can see it's quite hot and steamy, so it is quite dangerous when you are mucking around with it. So a good tip is to take the lid off, let it sit there for a couple of minutes, cool down a bit, and gently take it out and pop it onto the board there. Now, here's the time to cut through the middle. There we go. Cut through the middle here like this.
It smells delightful. It smells really, really good.
You can smell that cabbage.
It smells good,
it's like a big cabbage roll, like a big Dalmatis in a way, isn't it? Now, I'll just open that up there and you can see that beautiful meat in the centre of it, the cabbage all the way around it. You've got the parsley, the herbs. I'm just going to cut a little slice off it like that and pop it down on the board here. Look at that. beautiful. A meatloaf, a cabbage loaf, whatever you want to call it.
Something.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
You can serve it hot or cold.
Yep.
Take it to a picnic, wrap it up in a little sandwich. I'm going to have a little taste of that meat there.
This is great. This can feed quite a lot of people. This is great.
It's beautiful. The lamb is fantastic. And all the flavourings in there. The egg is great, the fresh herbs, simple little flavours, cooked to perfection. Great bit of cabbage. I think this is a great way to use cabbage. The sugarcane granny was great. But you know what, Rosie? I really think your cabbage pancake was the star. Simple, quick, easy to cook, and what a cracker.
We love cabbage.